one of the fundamental things to do in taking action is understanding how much value do you spend on taking action. Let me give you an example. If I ask you to go to another town, you have different way to get there. And different way to get there means that you will spend more or less energy, time, money on getting there. So it's the same for every outcome you seek. When you have defined the outcome you are after, you will potentially identify a number of actions, which basically are options that you can take to reach this outcome. And those options will be associated to a certain amount of value. Let's call it value as time, effort, money that you need to deploy, that you need to spend to reach this outcome. So always ask yourself, and this is one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself when you actually take action, and especially when you will take action with large team, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000 people. What is the minimum value that we can use, that we can deploy to reach the outcome? And so let me give you an example. When they started Dropbox, they asked themselves, okay, how can we validate an outcome? So do people want the product? Do people want an online space to store file, digital content? And so to validate this, the minimum effort they identify is that they don't need to build a product. They just need to build a landing page explaining the product, its features, and see if people would subscribe, give their email address to be informed about the launch of this product and potentially using this product. And that was enough to validate the interest in the product. They could have taken another way of building a prototype, building a whole product, getting it on the market. But no, they did it in a very smart manner. So it's an example to show you that before going into action, ask yourself, what is the minimum amount of value that I need to deploy, to use, to reach the outcome I am after? It means that the outcome you are after need to be quite clear, right? Otherwise, how do you identify the action that you need to take? You start doing stuff but not sure about where are you heading. You need clarity about the outcome that you want to reach. And if you work by yourself, so this is a question you can ask yourself, but if you work within a team, ask the team as well, right? So sit with the people, do a call with the people and ask them, what is the minimum amount of value that we need to use, we need to deploy to be able to reach this outcome? And usually you will have creative point of view. Some people may think really outside of the box. And when you actually look at those options or suggestions, many of them are actually doable and they may not require actually much effort at all. So you want to focus on that. There's no point going into action, deploying some time. So it depends what you are after, but hours, days, weeks of work, $1,000, $5,000, $1 million to reach an outcome that you actually can reach with $500, one guy, and maybe 7 hours of work. You need to maximize the amount of time not being used, right? This is the way you should see it. So when you get started on that, it will not be obvious, but as you practice it more and more and more and more, you will always come up with ideas on how can you shortcut your way, how can you find the minimum value required, necessary to reach an outcome. Try doing this and enjoy it. Cheers.